Hey, we're back home. After dinner, without the energy to watch TV, I climbed into the futon in my bedroom and let my head be overtaken by gloomy thoughts. What a good way to spend your time. I told Rika-chan anything and everything. She had seemed trustworthy at the time, but had that really been the right choice? The more I looked back on it, the less I understood what Rika-chan was saying. Not only did she know about Takano-san and Tomitake-san's deaths, but she spoke of them as if she were a concerned party. After all this time, in my futon, I began to tremble fiercely. Had I been lured in by Rika-chan's sweet smile and told her things I shouldn't have? I should have continued to find ignorance. I shouldn't have shown her such a weak side of me. My emotions are a mix of regret and fear, and it coloured the darkness of the night with an additional layer of terror. Suddenly, a knock. I might have yelped. That's how surprised I was. Keiichi, I've been calling your name for a while. You have a phone call. It's from Sonozaki-san. It was Dad. I reached out for the caller's phone through the gap in my door. Sonozaki-san? Which one? The older sister or the younger? I don't know. Ask her yourself. I took the receiver and buried myself into my futon again. Hello? Mion? Or is it Shion? It's me, Shion. Good evening. I practically jumped out of bed. It was Shion, who I hoped so desperately would call me back last night. Shion, sorry about last night. I got all riled up. I heard what sounded like a deep sigh on the other end. You and me are in the same position, aren't we? I shouldn't have blamed you for anything like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, so please, cheer up. I called you because I'm in a better mood. If you're sorry, then I'll forgive you, so please stop apologizing. Shion's tone still sounding a little angry, but for the moment she said she'd forgive me. You're right too, we're tied to the same fate. Making sure the other is alright is the only way to guarantee our own safety. Yeah, I agree. We absolutely need to share whatever information we have, so that we don't die like Takano-san and Tomitake-san did. Oop. I forced myself to swallow a solid drop of saliva. Then let's continue from where we left off. You'll listen without getting angry this time, right? Yeah, I'll be fine. Firstly, it seems that sneaking into the ritual storehouse was more of a taboo than we thought. Takano-san and Tomitake-san's miserable ends, terrible enough that you could call them a warning, they were more than enough to make me believe that. The culprits killed those two, the ones responsible for sullying the storehouse, and they'll come for us next. I know you want to deny that, but please accept it. It'll be too late to believe me once you've disappeared, okay? I got it. You can never be too careful after all. I don't want to accept it either. To think that sneaking a peek at that museum of torture devices deserves a death like that. I don't want to believe it. That's what a taboo is. For those who honour it, if one breaks the taboo, no matter how small or innocent their intentions were, they wouldn't be forgiven. Let's report anything we notice that seems strange. If we connect all the tiny pieces that we have, then just maybe we'll find out who killed them, or maybe even the truth behind the incidents of the previous years. If we could find the key, that will resolve everything. You're right. You're right about that. All I was doing was waiting in fear, but Shion had already thought that far ahead. Given how trustworthy she felt, I became embarrassed over how passive I was being. Then I'll start since I suggested it. I feel like somebody has been watching me lately. What? It might be my imagination, but I'll tell you anyway. I think it's just me, but if you feel like you're being watched too, K-chan, then see, if you think you're being watched too, K-chan, then maybe it's not just my imagination. Well, don't worry. At the very least, everything's been fine for me, I think. As I spoke with Shion, I thought back on today. I had no grounds to say that everything was fine. I see. Then I suppose it was my imagination, but you be careful too, K-chan. Be especially careful when you're by yourself in public. I'm in Okinomiya, so I won't be alone very often, but you live in Hinamizawa. There will be a lot of times where you'll be alone. Please be extra careful. You're right. Yeah, I'll be careful. No, also, about my sister. Has she been acting strange lately? Your sister? Oh, Mion, right? What do you mean by acting strangely? Well, yesterday she came to me and asked me where I was on the night of the Watanagashi. What? She asked me too. The day before yesterday, I think. Mion asked me. I see. I told her I wasn't there. What did you say? I did the same thing. I just dodged the question. Nofus gave a quiet sigh of relief. Ever since the night of the festival, my sister has been acting strangely. You can't be too careful, so just be aware, okay? Mion was acting strangely. Aside from her asking me about the night of the Watanagashi, we hadn't seemed too out of the ordinary. At least, from my point of view. Her twin sister though was saying she was acting weird. Maybe it was such a slight change that a stranger like me wouldn't be able to notice. Got it. I'll start being careful. I'll always have Rena with me on my way back from school, so I shouldn't end up alone with Mion very often. Be careful, please. If there's anything that's bothering you, you can tell me. Alright. End of the call? End of the call. No, not yet. Okay then, is there anything you want to tell me, K-chan? My turn. That's right. Maybe I should report on Oshi-san asking me the same question at the library. Oh, that time when you were too slow to escape? Yeah. Oshi-san asked me pretty forcefully whether I was with Takano-san and Tomitake-san that night and whether I had seen you. Oshi-san seemed to have seen the four of us together. From the police's point of view, that would make us the last people who've seen them. I suppose, given that it's only natural they'd be interested in us. I evaded the questions then too. Well, that might have made them more interested. There was no way I could have tricked that sly old fox Oshi-san. My troubled countenance would have only made him more certain. Hey, Shion, since they're the police, shouldn't we just tell them? I mean, considering our situation, I think having them on our side would be a good thing. Shion didn't answer right away. For a few moments, all I could hear was her breathing as she thought about it. Now that I think of it, Oshi-san said there was something possibly shady about Mion. At least, I think that's what he said. Yeah, he definitely did. As I explained yesterday, the Sonozaki family holds a lot of influence over Hinamizawa. Oshi-san is under the impression that the whole village, with the Sonozaki family at the center of it all, is responsible for the recurrent freak deaths. The whole village is behind them, with the Sonozaki family at the center. Please don't get angry like you did yesterday and just listen. I hammered that home before I got too upset. During the Hinamizawa Dam Wars, the priest who everyone was anticipating to lead the anti-dam movement acted as though he was unrelated, so the Sonozaki main house rose up to take charge. My sister told you about all the battles that happened, right? Yeah. All of Hinamizawa got together and fought as one. They held protests, brought it to court, and even appeared on TV. In reality, there were many things that happened that were far more extreme. Under the surface, the Sonozaki main house was doing all sorts of illegal things to oppose it. They were acting illegally. For example, they would sneak into the construction site in the middle of the night and steal equipment, or break it, or put sugar cubes in the gasoline tanks of the construction vehicles. Sugar in their gasoline tanks? Why would they? You don't know? It's practically the representative guerrilla tactic. It was used by the underground organizations in France in World War II for one. When you put sugar in, the engine gets burnt out and breaks down. That's pretty bad though, isn't it? The destruction of property was nothing less. When they beefed up the guard at the construction facility, the family turned into attacking important construction personnel who worked there. The government officials who given permission for the construction, for example, received all kinds of threats. Not just people from the prefecture office either. Apparently this reached as far as the Ministry of Construction. That's okay. As far as I've heard, they've even kidnapped a child once. Kidnapped? Yes. The child of an important person in the Ministry of Construction who was in charge of the Hinamizawa Dam got spirited away. Then one day, all of a sudden, he was rescued in the Takatsudo Mountains, which are upstream from Hinamizawa. Apparently, there were never any criminal accusations, but people whispered that it had been a threat to stop the dam construction from happening. Besides that, there are stories about so many different threats that I couldn't possibly list them all. That's sort of bad, isn't it? Right in the middle of the whole thing, the first incident happened. That's when the dismemberment of the construction manager occurred. People who whispered that the Sonozaki family had brought out the principal offender, but of course he fled, and they still haven't found him. When you put it that way, the Sonozaki family definitely seems suspicious. Oji-san seems to think that the criminal was erased so he wouldn't talk, which is pretty unreasonable of him. It's even enough to make me think that the Sonozaki main house is doing some really shady things behind the scenes, even though I'm related to them. Are you telling me to believe that the Sonozaki main house where Mion lives has done all those bad things? You're telling me to believe it? Even if you don't, Kei-chan, the villagers do. While they oppose the dam in upright and lawful ways, the Sonozaki house did the dirty work for them. Everyone believes that they fought at the front, so they take the brunt of the criticism. So they're respected as sort of the heroes of darkness. Heroes of darkness, eh? Would be better to put them as anti-heroes then. I think I only really know one part of it. For example, the really bad stuff like the kidnapping, I think only a handful of people even know about it, including Grandma. The Sonozaki family is secretive after all. Secretive, huh? A family so unforthcoming that even Shion, who is related to them, doesn't know everything about them. The Sonozaki family. Unlike Shion, her older twin, Mion, was deeply involved with everything. That was not a fun thought to entertain. My sister, though young, was the one who acted as the centre of the illegal resistance movement. Mion was. Well, what do you mean? Well, our dad is a big shot Yakuza. Even when she was little, my sister managed to subjugate a bunch of young street rats, and she played all sorts of tricks on them and just generally got in their way. Mion did that. Now she's pretty laid back, so it might be hard to imagine. They put her in charge of everything, from property damage to threats and even acts of violence. So since she was a kid, they could get her released pretty easily. She learned that her age could be used as a weapon. It may have been indiscreet, but I can't help but chuckle dryly. She may have been young, but she was certainly still Mion. Even back then, she had already been known for her craftiness. It's nothing to laugh about. Please take this seriously. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Shion had gotten pretty angry at me. Well, her delinquency soon got her into a position of authority in the Sonozaki main house. It's not unthinkable that Oshi expects them for the dismemberment incident and the later ones too. For a few moments I was dumbstruck at the tale of Mion's past. None of them matched the image I had of her. A younger Mion dirtying her hands with all sorts of crimes, giving the damn construction project hell. As the successor to the Sonozaki main family, he was always right at the centre of the vortex of strange incidents occurring year after year. Was that really the Mion I knew? Maybe the one I know isn't the real Mion. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't bring myself to accept these images of Mion I was hearing from another person. Well, back to the main subject. I just wanted to know that my sister is someone worth being cautious around. Please be careful. I didn't want to understand. Mion was a fantastic friend. She would never do something to back me into a corner like this. She did ask me pretty harshly about the night of the festival, but even that, it wasn't like she said it in a mean way or anything. Alright, I'll make sure to be careful. My sisters relate to my blood, but within the Sonozaki family, we're basically of a different class. I want you to recognize how distant they are from me. Please. The more Shion tells me about Mion, the less I understand who Mion is. The Mion I know wasn't a dangerous person. He joked around, smiled a lot, and was full of passion. Now that I'd realized I held such a view towards her, Shion was telling me to change it. To be careful around the best friend ever. To doubt her. The idea was very sad and painful. Now, about Oshi-san. I just call him Oshi-san just out of habit now. If you think it's a good idea, then I think we need to give him the information he needs. I think getting the police on our side will work in our favour. You thought so too, Shion? It's just at the moment, like I explained, the police already have their eyes on the Sonozaki family already. Oshi in particular completely believes that they're the masterminds behind the serial incidents. That includes me, of course. So I really don't want to do much with Oshi. I see. If Oshi-san had found out about the Sonozaki family's strife-filled history, then he probably wouldn't be happy with Shion either. At last I understood Mion's instinctive dislike for Oshi-san. He's probably out in the open at this point, but try not to give my name to him. If you agree to that, then I don't think there's any problem with you telling him anything. I got it. I won't mention your name. The police's investigative ability should be quite a reliable weapon for us now. If Oshi-san tells you anything interesting, then let me know as well. Yeah, of course. We'll share information and investigate together. who'd killed Hanako-san and Tomitake-san, who was after us. Until we know, we need to defend ourselves. Anything else? Besides what Ochi-san told you, I mean. If anything has happened, no matter how minor, please tell me. Aside from my discussion with Ochi-san. Oh. Should I tell her that I revealed everything to Rika-chan? Rika-chan was acting like she knew something I didn't. She told me to leave it to her, but what? Ah, that's right. When I was talking to her, she mentioned Shion's name too. Was that a mistake? I felt like Shion would get angry. Nothing else? Kei-chan? I remained silent for quite a while, so Shion encouraged me to speak, unable to bear the silence. I struggled with what to say. Shion addressed me instead. It doesn't sound like it, so I can ask you something. So can I ask you something? I just heard this myself. Is it true that old man Kimiyoshi went missing? Or old man Kimiyoshi? My gut told me that was the name of the mayor. You mean the mayor? Wait, Shion, you haven't heard? I don't know anything. I just overheard my dad talking about it on the phone again. I realized I shouldn't have said that. Here in Hinamizawa, the things that happened around this time when Oyashiro-sama's curse would occur would all be covered up. Yeah, actually last night after a meeting, he didn't come home, so all of Hinamizawa was confused. They searched all through the village, but if they found him, then I haven't heard. The police should be searching for him as well. Why didn't you tell me something like that? Oh. Why didn't you tell me something that important right away? She shouted angrily at me, bringing all her emotions to bear. Sorry, I thought you already knew. I didn't want to hide it or anything. The receiver was silent. Did Shion get mad and hang up? Hey Shion, hello? Kei-chan, what? What should I do? Shion's tiny confused voice sounded like it belonged to a different person than the one yelling a few seconds ago. What's wrong? Tell me. We're not keeping secret from each other, right? Shion hesitated for a long time, but then she confessed. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hide it. It was just that, the conversation got turned around and we're on the same side, right? I won't get mad, so tell me honestly. Shion hesitated for a few moments. Then in a resigned voice she continued. Old man Kimiyoshi, I told him everything. Shion seemed to think I would yell at her right after she said that, so I heard her catching her breath. Contrary to what she thought, I was a little relieved. Shion had done the same thing I had when I confessed everything to Rika-chan. Though in as gentle a voice as I could, so as to not set her off, I responded. Old man Kimiyoshi, he's someone you feel comfortable confiding in, Shion? Yes. He would, when I was little, he was really nice to me. Shion felt the same pain as the rest of us from the mayor's disappearance. She had a different kind of strength from me on, and as she continued, her voice sounded truly sad and pained. All I did was play tricks on him, but he would always just smile. He listened to anything I had to say. He was such a kind person. Calm down, Shion. It's not like he's dead, right? Don't lose heart so easily. Shion didn't answer. Even as I said it myself, I didn't think we'd ever find the missing mayor again. We probably wouldn't even figure out if he was alive or dead. Shion must have been thinking the same thing. That night, I told the mayor that we stuck into the ritual storehouse. Also that someone saw us and was out to get us. Does the mayor know how absurdly Takano-san and Tomitake-san died? Yes. He knew about it. I told him that they would died by Oyashio-sama's curse, and that I could be made a sacrifice to calm his anger. I just said it straight out. Right. What then? Old man Kimiyoshi didn't get angry. He smiled and told me if I was properly sorry about it, there was no way I'd be demoned away. He was really smiling and told me to leave it to him. Until Shion stopped sobbing, I was unable to find any words for her. I couldn't imagine what kind of person the mayor was, nor what Shion's relationship with him was like. Words of comfort, however, mean so much to us when we're about to be crushed by anxiety. Today, Rika-chan taught me that too. The one who gave me such a sense of security were to disappear, and I could guess that kind of shock Shion was in. It's my fault, because I revealed everything. Stop it, Shion. It's not like it's your fault. No, it's my fault. I told him everything. Old man Kimiyoshi found out about everything. So he has to have been killed. It was right after I told him, after all. He disappeared the same night that I confessed, and he told me everything was going to be alright. He found out. So he became involved. I should never have told him. All of this should have been our fault. Only the four of us. It wasn't something I should have told someone else. He got killed because I told him. He got killed because he knew. He got killed because I revealed it. Hey, stop. If they were doing that, then they would obviously have been killed. They would have obviously have killed you before killing the mayor. The order is all wrong. You or I should have been killed first. Why the hell would someone else get killed first? No, it's in order. They must have been planning to kill us last of all. What? What? They're not killing the first people who come to mind. They start by killing those who we're close to. And then after they've caused us so much pain, they'll kill us. That must be what they're doing. I said, calm down. Shion, you're in shock. You're panicking. The mayor's disappearance has nothing to do with you. It's unconnected. It's not related to Takano-san and Tomitake-san dying at all. My words came out as a scream, as if I were shouting them at myself. No, it's connected. It just has to be. I told him that, so he was killed. He got killed because he knew. I confessed it to him, so he got killed. He repeated the same thing as before, as though she was in a delirium. Despite my trying to console the crazed Shion, for some reason the shadow at my feet began to freeze. From that shadow a cold arm reached out, so cold it seemed like it would freeze even my heart just by touching me and grabbed my ankle. The heat generated by my body, the arm was absorbing it. It was a horrible chill. A freezing cold, numbingly frigid. It was inviolable chill of fear. I don't know. Though I sympathized with Shion, I had been naive in thinking it was something only she had to worry about. In my head, Shion's eerie word repeated again and again. He was killed because I told him. He was killed because he found out. I confessed everything. So he was killed. Those words echoed through my head like a monotone mantra, and finally those even repetitions took on a meaning. The quiet shaking that had already overtaken me turned into a violent shiver that shot up my spine. Rika-chan. It's Rika-chan. What? What did you say just now? Well, The truth is, I told her about it. I told Rika-chan. Today. Rika-chan, you mean Rika-chama? The one from the Furuide Shrine? Yes, Rika-chan. I felt so scared and uneasy that I did it. I told Rika-chan. When you did, what did she say? The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure. That's what Rika-chan said. And then she smiled. She smiled just like that. Just like the missing mayor had when he encouraged Shion. I'm sorry, Shion. I'm worried about Rika-chan. Right. If you're that concerned, then don't worry about me. Please go find out whether she's safe. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll call you again tomorrow at the same time. When I do, you'll know I'm still alright. I got it. I'll be waiting. Okay, bye. Sorry. I'm hanging up. I put down the receiver without waiting for Shion to say goodbye. The danger to Shion and myself was secondary at this point. My sixth sense was blaring alarms in my head. I don't like this feeling. It's really bad. It's definitely bad. Damn it. Please be safe. Rika-chan. Let's hope she is safe. Not getting demoned away. New tips. Yay. On the scrapbook, I was that punishment something? Ah, well. Ooh, we made it onto the second page now.